Welcome to the fastest daf in town. Today we're Masechtas Nazir Daf Vav. We are going to begin on the bottom of Hey Amud Beis. So we're going to be reminding ourselves of the short Mishnah on Hey Amud Aleph, Stam Nazir Shloshim Yom. But the truth is there's a machlokus. According to Rav Masna, he says, based on our Mishnah, that in fact it's a 30-day period of time. However, we were also introduced to the opinion of Bar Pada. Bar Pada said that a Nazir is only for 29 days. It's a 29-day period. So based on that, we were discussing whether or not, based on other cases, it seems against the words of Bar Pada. So it's possible that Bar Pada in general, Midoraisa says it's 29 days, but Midorabanan, he'll say we should add a 30th day because otherwise there could be confusion in the situation where a person was explicit, they were mafarish, exactly it would be 30 days, and therefore if we would end up bringing karbanos on the 30th day, which is what he really holds, because if it's 29 days is Nazirus, then the 30th day is when you would bring the karbanos, but sometimes when you stipulate 30 days, then you wouldn't be able to bring it. Now, of course, there's also another important concept that we learned on yesterday's daf, that namely of mixus hayom kekulo. That it's possible that you could be a nazir on the 30th day, and yet also maybe be able to bring your karbanos on that same day, because at least at some level you did observe the laws of Nazirus, at least for part of that day. Okay, so let's continue now along this discussion on the bottom of Hamid Beis. Not Mishe Nazir Beis Naziros. So you have a situation where a person accepts upon themselves two Naziros. So there's two separate Naziros. So because of that, Megaleach Eseri Shaina, the din is you have to do the 30 days. Apparently it's 30 days. And then the next day you will shave, which is Yom Lama Ve'echad, which sounds very clear like Rav Masna, that Nazirus is for 30 days. Vashniya Yom Shishim Echad. And then the second one is on the 61st day. Now the question is, why the 61st day? Well, it should be the 62nd day. If it's 31, then the 31. So the 31st day counts for the first day for the second Nazirus. So that's an important concept. So let's say there was Nazirus for 30 days, which is great. And then the 31st day you bring the karbanos, you cut your hair. Now also on that day, as soon as you've done that, now we say the din is that you start counting for the second Nazirus. So day 31 is already Nazirus, number 2, and then it continues until day 60, from day 31 till 60, which is 30 days, and then day 61, you do this process one last time. Now, Bishlam Rav Masna Nicha. So Rav Masna makes a lot of sense, because again, he holds of the opinion of 30 days. Ella, as we continue to Vav Amud Aleph, the problem is, Bar Pada Kasha. He would hold you should only need 29 days. So if it's 29 days, you should start bringing the karbanos on the 30th. So Bar Pada aim a seifa. So let's look at the seifa. It says V'im gilech as rishayna l'yom shloishim megalech as shniya l'yom shishim. So this seems El Seif Messiah. This seems to support me, because it says that you could already start bringing the karbanos on day 30. How could you bring the karbanos on day 30? Again, according to Ramasta, he'll say it's because of Yom Mixus Yom Kukulo. But Bar Pada doesn't hold a Mixus Yom Kukulo, so therefore he's going to use this as a raya, that why would it be that you could technically bring it on the 30th day? L'chayr, it's a raya to me that it must be because Nazirus is only 29 days. And Reisha Bo'emer Shaliman, as we said, that we're concerned if he does say Shaliman, which he's basically saying it is 30 days, even though Stam Nazirus is 29 days according to Bar Pada. But if you say Shaliman, then all of a sudden it becomes 30 days. And therefore that's the reason why the Reisha, it says it's got to be day 31, because you said Shaliman. So I agree to that. In that case, you have no choice. You have to wait till the 31st day. However, if you didn't say it was just Stam Nazirus, then you could even bring it on the 30th day. Or Rav Masna kasha seifa. So this whole statement of counting on the 30th day is a problem according to Rav Masna. So Rav Masna kediktani seifa, like we saw in the seifa, Yom Shloishim Oyula Lakan Ulakan. That when it comes to the 30th day, it goes for the end of the first Nazirus, and also it starts the second Nazirus. So Mahi, what is this? Mixes Yom Kakuloi. So this whole concept, which is what he holds of, is Mixes Yom Kakulo. And I Ha'amr Chadazimna. So again, we already know this concept according to this opinion of Ramasna, which is why on the 30th day, you're allowed to do it. I hold Nazirus for 30 days, but as long as you did it for part of the time, that's good enough. So that's already a drasha, that's something which you already learned. So what's the chiddush? So maybe the only time we say mixes Yom Kikul is if we're just dealing with one Nazirus. You did it for 30 days, and on that 30th day, if you brought the karbanos and you count your hair, that would be good. But when it comes to two Nazirus, maybe not. Kamash Farsh. Lo amrinan dilahavi yom echad oyelo laminyan nazirus rishayna menazirus shnia. Maybe we're not going to say that it's going to go for the first and the second. Kamash malan de oyel lakan lakan. So that's the chiddush. Tanan im gilech yom shishim chaser echad. Let's say in fact instead of day 60, which we say you could do either according to Bar Pada because it's a riot, it's 29 days, or according to Ramasna because Yom mixes Yom Kakuloi. However, if it's day 59, it says Yotza. Shiyom Shleishim Oilolo Min Haminyan. Because the 30th day counts. The Bishlam around Masna Nicha. I can understand according to Ramasna because he holds this notion of mixes Yom Kakul. El Bar Pada Lomali. Ha'omer Shleishim Chaser Echad. Right? All you need is 29. So what he holds Shleishim Chaser Echad 29. So what does it mean? Oh, if you were Galech Yom Shishim Chaser Echad on the 59th day, it's not a problem to him because it's allowed to be on the 29 after 29 days. So Malach Ananami Aha Samchi says that with this also is my source. Fine. Actually, let's look at Taisus. Actually, you're right. This is how I learned. It's 29 days. That the 30th day counts. It counts for the second one. Alma, the ain oil minin rishon doesn't count for the first. Kin nizkril el. The kivan the tana mekel boy kol kach lachshav yoim lakan lakan. Okay. Weiter. So the Gemara continues and says as follows. Tanan. Misha Amar Hareni Nazir. If a person makes himself a Nazir, Nitma Yom Shloishim, and he becomes tummy on the 30th day, which seems to be the last day, or according to Bar Pada, that's the day after the last day. So it says Saiser Sakoil, which means since he became tummy, he's going to need to wait 7 days to become tahor from Tumas Mace, and then afterwards he has to do a recount. Now, Bishlama or Rav Masna Nicha. Rav Masna makes a lot of sense because Midiraisa, you have to wait for 30 days. So if he became tummy on the 30th day, that's a problem. El Bar Pada Kasha. Bar Pada, it's difficult because according to him, the problem is that it shouldn't be a problem because you finished Nazirus after day 29. So before we continue, I want to see this rush, which on the Gemara previously was Samchi. Mekanani loime the stam Nazirus chavtes yoim. Says the rush, I prove from here it's 29 days, but the Kaimer liyoim lamid oilel leminyan habez, similar to Taisus, that accounts for the second. Alma nishma Nazirus ha'echad. The first one was completed. The imlokin sulo matzil mahavi machashim Nazirus habez. Then you couldn't start counting the second one. The Lord Marina mixes him kukulo. It doesn't hold the mixes him kukulo. V'nimsa chikol hayom kulo sarach lahashlim nazir echad. Okay. So again, this seems to be a kasha on Bar Pada that how come it's Seiser as a coil? So as we continue to bubble the base, Samalach Bar Pada Ema Seifa. So, okay, that may be a problem. Let's look at the Seifa. Rabbi Lezer Omer Eno Seiser El Shiva. He says actually that it's only for 7 days. Why 7? So says the Mefarish, Keneged Oisin Yomim Shemoyne Behem Shlishi Mishmi Machmas Tuma. So as we said, because you have to count Yom Shlishi, Yom Shvi, Yitar for the Paraduma, because you're Tummy Mace. So since you had to count for those 7 days for Tumas Mace, so therefore because of that, you're only going to be Seiser 7 days. Now, if in fact you need 30 days, Nister Kruhu, then everything should be canceled. Look in the Mefarish. Elolab the ain ikr nazirus or Rabbi Lezer el chavtas yom. It must be that the truth is why is he so lenient that you only need 7? Is because he really holds that the nazirus is only 29 days anyway, and therefore it's not a problem. My time to Rabbi Lezer the Omer Seiser Zayin mishum desarach legalech la'achar shehiza olav shlishi shmi machmas toma, because you have to shave after the 7th. After you've been sprinkled the 3rd and 7th day, machmas toma, because of Thomas Mace. Continuing, it says, "V'dinhu sarach lister mehen klum." The truth is, nothing really technically is rejected over here from your nazir. Shahari avru lav chavtas yom, but tahar, because you did already finish the 29 days. El mishum dahashta nisgalach al toma. Since you're shaving because of tuma, the kimlu rabana the in shir misgadol kedei l'kaif rosho shalzeh b'sadi kor shalzeh. So he said that in order for the hair to grow enough that one hair, which ends, goes to the top of the next one that starts, Mizayin Yomim, it takes 7 days for that to grow. And when is that? So basically, it's just a technical problem because you need to have your hair grow a certain amount. So since your hair was cut after the 7 days of Tumas Mace, after being sprinkled, that's a requirement. So too, that's why you have to wait. But the truth is, Ikar Adin, you shouldn't have to wait for anything at all. And this is a raya because to me, it shows because it's the Nazir is only 29 days. So this is actually a proof to me. So Ksavar Rabbi Lezer mixes Yom Kukuloi. So he says that really the pshat is that he holds that mixes Yom is Kukuloi. Fine. So if you look over here, it says, "Lo oilim imloch Ksavar Rabbi Lezer shloishim inan." Ramasta imloch oilim imloch Rabbi Lezer lo yihav naziris pachas b'shloshim yom. It's 30 days. The Ksavar mixes a yom shloishim she'avar love b'tahara kukulodami. The fact that he completed 30 days, that's the reason why. It's because he, at least on the 30th day, at least for some of it, before he became Tommy Mace, at least on some level, he became, he did some level of Nazirus on his 30th day. And because of Mixus Yom Kikula, that's why it's not Seiser everything. Okay, so it's not a Raya either way. All right, let's look at question 13. Misha Omar Harini Nazir v'nitma yoim lamid had the Seiser as a koyel rabbanan imhum deraisa rabbanan. So according, it all depends on this machlokas. According to Rav Masna, it's deraisa because it's for 30 days. So since it's for 30 days, it became tumid on the 30th day. So therefore, it's a tumid deraisa. However, according to Bar Pada, it's only derabbanan. Okay, bite. Tanan Harini Nazir me'yoim. A person says I'm going to be a Nazir for 100 days. So you can make specific times like that. So nitma yoim meya, let's say on the 100th day, his last day, he becomes tamei, seisus a koil. So similar to what we said before, that's seisus a koil. And he was very precise that it's 100 days. Rabbi Lezer omer eno seisus el shloishim yoim. So Rabbi Lezer above, who said 7 days, here he says it's going to be for 30 days. It's not for the whole 100. He doesn't have to redo the whole 100, but at least 30. Okay, so let's continue. If Rabbi Lezer, as we said before, according to Rav Masna, holds that mixes Yom Kikulo, and if that's the case, Nister Shiva. So why doesn't he just say it's only Seiser the Shiva, like the 7, like we said before? Because he did do the 100 days. So l'chayra, he must not hold like that. If he doesn't hold a mixes Yom Kukulo, Lister Kulhu. Why 30 days? He should be sois the whole thing, because the 100th day, if the 100th day needs to be entirely b'tahara and he became Tami Mace during that time, so then it should be sois hakol. Where did he come up with 30 days? 30 days like Mamanav Shach. If mixes Yom Kikulo, all you need is the 7 days for just Tumas Mace, and that's it. However, according to if you don't hold a Yom mixes Yom Kikulo, then he should be sois hakol. So Oyel more when he mixes Yom Kikulo. Really doesn't. So if that's the case, then the whole thing should be sois. Or why only 30 days? There's a reason for it. Omer Kor the pasuk says Zois Torah and Nazir biyom Molois, the day of its completion, the last day. Yemei Nizru Hatar Amra Nitma biyom Molois. In the event that a person comes to me on that last day, Tain lo Taurus Nazir, then we make him the law of a Nazir, and a Stam Naziris is 30 days. So that's all it's coming to tell you, that if it's Yimei Malois, the day that's completed his counting, which is the last day, even if you don't hold Mixus Yom Kikulo, but if you end up becoming Tummy on that very last day, so because you made it that far and it's the last day, so we don't require you to do the whole 100, you only have to do the regular Taurus Nazir of 30 days. So let's say that this is actually a machlokas tanaim. So it says ad mulos hayomim shumaani miut yomim shnaim. We know when a pasuk says yomim, it doesn't specify the amount of days. We always go by the very bare minimum of a plural, which means it's referring to 2. So it must be referring to a Nazir for 2 days. Talmud Loimer Kodesh Yiyeh Gadol Pera, which Yiyeh, as we already said, is the gematria of 30. Ein Gidol Sar Pachos Mishleishim, Dev Rav Oishia. So Rav Oishia says that you actually have to wait 30 days for everything to take place. So look at the Mepharsh. Elu hein yomim shesrichel mulois havi yom elamed. The chad sheshol avana enu elu chavtes v'chatzi. Upamim shutzarech lahashlim l'minyan shleishim. So this is basically saying that sometimes it's 29, 20 and a half regarding the moon. Rabbi Yoshia Savar, the Haidechsiv Ad, when it says Ad, Malois, Ad Lamed, Mashma Veloy Shloishim Bechlal. It's Mashma, and we may see this actually soon, that it's not including the 30th. So up until, but not including. It's like Ad Veloy Bechlal. It's not including the 30th day, so therefore he needs the second part of the pasuk to make it into the 30th day. So that's how he learns it. Rabbi Yonasan Oimer Enot Tzarch. You actually don't need to go there, because Haru Oimer Ad Mulois Hayomim. It says until the completion. So Elohein Yomim Shesrichim L'Mulois. So this is referring to in the lunar month that which needs to be complete. Havi Omer Shloishim, that's 30. So my love, Rab Masna di Omer Krab Yoishi, Rab Barpada di Omer Krab Yonasan. So Amalach Rab Masna, the Kuliyama Shloishim Inan. Everyone really says it's 30, V'hachabad B'ad B'chlal K'miflagi. Rab Yoishi Sever Ad V'lo Ad B'chlal, which is again why he needed this drush. The pasuk really is Ad V'lo Ad B'chlal. However, when it says Ad B'lois, so it's Ad Lamed, which is not the 30th day, but since it says Gedel Para, and hair doesn't grow less than 30 days, so therefore that's how he learns out this extra pasuk. Yonasan Savar Adviad B'chlal. He holds that's including the 3rd day. Omar I elu hein yomim shesrichin l'mlois havi omer shloishim. The aim of Shabbos, so maybe it should just be a Shabbos, says the Mepharsh, Kadei Shavua, a week. Havi stam naziris. The havi shisha yomim, 6 days. Asi yom shvi. The 7th day comes. Uma malei. Lol shavua. It completes the week. The aim of the admulos hayomim admulos shavua kaimer. How do we know it's the completion of a month? Maybe it's the completion of a week. So the aim of Shabbos miika chasirusa. Is there something missing? So what does that mean? The boy hashlama. The fact that it says it's complete, it must be that sometimes it's not always. Sometimes it's moli, sometimes it's chaser, which cannot be referring to a week. However, of a chodesh, the very bottom over here, diika chesirusa, diika chaser, diika mole. Sometimes the moon is full, sometimes it's full. So it must be the fact that it says molois, it's talking about something which is full, which is not always full, which is talking about a month, which it varies. So the Ema Shabbos mi ika chesirusa, no, it's always the same. As we continue to Zayin and Aleph, the Ema Shana, so maybe it's a year. It says before Shesricha lemois the pamim yihei shin nun gimel. Sometimes it's 353 days. Pamim shin nun dalad. Sometimes it's 354. Upamim shin nun hey. So we do find that sometimes it's more complete than others. So our answer is mi ninan Yomi. Do we count years by days? V'harabana kisri amri menayin shein mainin yamul l'shanim shneim chachi hashana. The months of the year. Chadashim chashmin l'shanim v'yamim l'shanim. We count months for the year, not days for the year. So therefore, just because there's different days, we're not going to be making this cheshbon of different days to add up to a year. Rather, it's months to a year. And therefore, it's not shaykh to say that when it's talking about Nazirus, it's going to be for a year. Okay, we're going to stop there. Let's see a couple more questions. Question 14. Hareini Nazir for 100 days, and he becomes Tameh on Yom May on the 100th day. Kami Yomim Saiser. So this is just a clean question. According to the Rabbanan, it's Saiser Akol. And Rabbi Lezer says Saiser Shloishim. That's only for the period of 30 days. TA 11. Tanya. Kadosh Yevel Goimer. Ein Gidol Pera Pachas Meshloishim. The hair grows within 30 days. That's the words of Rabbi Shaya. Rabbi Yonasan Omer Ad Mulois. And it says Ad Hayomim Srichan Ul Mulois. It's saying that days, they need to be complete. So, but my commitment Havamina Maskana. So, in the Havamina, we thought the Machlokas is Stam Nazirus, is it 30 days or is it 29 days? Based on the Machlokas of Bar Padan and Ramasna. The Maskana is no. Everyone holds maybe that it's for 30 days. And the whole Machlokas is when it says Ad Mulois, is it Ad B'chlal or Ad V'lo Ad B'chlal? And therefore, as we said, according to Rabbi Shaya, he holds that it's Ad V'lo Ad B'chlal, and because therefore it really is 29, and the Pasuk is coming to add to the 30th. So everyone holds it's 30 days is the Mulois. TB12. Hareini Nazir Mea Yom, V'nitma B'yoin Mea. Kami Yomim Soiser. So again, that's a machlokas if it's Soiser HaKol or is it for 30 days? Umas Svarsa Machlokas. So according to the Rabbanan, your Soiser HaKol, let's see what it says. Delo Amrina Mixas Yom Kukulo. Because he doesn't say Mixas Yom Kukulo, it's there for the 100th day, that's it. Rabbi Lezer's only 30 days. The Gzersa Kasav the Nitma B'Yom Lois Ein Soiser Elo Shloishim Adkan.